Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Saturday, March 7th, 2026 weekly Nasdaq review. I wanted to hop on here and kind of review what I'm seeing in the Nasdaq, more for myself and kind of to see where it is going. But I felt inspired kind of to record it and post it here to share with others as well. So this is the NASDAQ March delivery contract here. We are entering our last couple weeks here of trading the MNQH 2026. And so far it has been a very, very ugly contract over the last couple months in this big range consolidation here, with the high here at 26,667.75 and the low coming in at 24,150. And then obviously here the last week or two, or three, we have been just kind of in that lower half here. And I'm looking for ultimately this low to kind of be taken next. That is going to be obvious here when I put on the drawings. This is just the range that should be anchored there, and that'll get anchored right there. So this is our current dealing range that we've been in. The high of it was formed in October of 2025. The low was formed in November of 2025. So it has been almost 4 months now, just inside this large dealing range of price action. Focusing kind of more on this most recent price action from the very end of January to current of 2026 is mostly where I want to take the attention to. So this is the kind of upper quadrant of the dealing range right here at 26,038.25. We also have an eighth level above it and below it. So splitting this entire dealing range into eighths is what each level here is. This red level across the middle is the 50% of the entire dealing range. So everything above it would be a premium. Everything below it is going to be a discount. So right here at the upmost eighth at 26,353.00, we saw price actually fall short on this high here on January 28th, 2026. We fell short of it about 4 handles here, and ultimately rapidly declined lower. This move in here to the lower quadrant at 26,038.25 fell about 10 handles short on this high right here and continued its move lower. Ultimately trading almost to the low of the dealing range, falling about 100 handles, 90 handles short of that low, and have ultimately been in an even tighter consolidation here these last couple weeks through most of February and now for the first week of March. So focusing in on this, we did come back up to a premium here at the beginning of February, and then ultimately look at the respect there to that lower eighth, and then coming right back up to the premium market above 50%, taking out that buy side liquidity there, leaving something here at 25,514.50 before still consolidating kind of even more. And then here on Thursday, March 5th, 2026, we traded up to 25,243.00, which is 1.5 handles below the consequent encroachment of this large SIBI that you can see here. and it is a little bit more obvious here. It's a whole suspension block, as ICT teaches it, when you toggle off the settlement. But that's what I have all this anchored to, but I have the settlement turned on to see this volume imbalance right here at the high end of it, because we were using it here on the 25th and 26th of February. And then also this volume imbalance here from the 26th to 27th. So ultimately, we have buy side at 25,514.50, and our initial sell side liquidity is right now down here, right there in red at 24,350.75, and then ultimately wanting to see 24,150.00. Now, the reason I want to anticipate this price going lower now is this respect right here. The high of this candle at 25,243.00. Respecting the lower half of this inefficiency right here in red, this whole highlighted box, looking just at the lower half of it here. As you can see, the couldn't even get up to the midpoint, and then now have on Friday really gone lower here. In fact, let me also throw that lower quadrant on there. This lower quadrant is where the body's respected. So if you see the open of this candle is 25,154.50. The lower quadrant is 25,155.75. So opening about one handle below it and having no body now in the above the lower quadrant. We've now left it again. We've traded even below the new week opening gap of 3-2, which was this past week. So now really wanting to see acceleration to the downside here as we go into this next trading week on March 9th would be kind of ideal. Get us out of this range. I think if that happens, it's going to be a very explosive move. Everyone's kind of anticipating it, which is why it would have to happen fast. And honestly, even a gap opening lower, gaps can be very, very large. They can be very, very small for the new week opening gaps. A large new week opening gap could basically let nobody participate. That might be where they're heading. The only caveat to that would be they would maybe want to come back up here to 25,514.50 first. I don't want to see that. I want to see us really make a strong case here for lower. But that comes with its own set of challenges. So yeah, ultimately I want to see price go lower with where we are currently at. We are currently making a very nice attempt lower. It is very, very high resistance. This is all kind of my opinion that I have before seeing the market obviously open on Sunday night, because I want to see how that is, I guess, priced in. Don't know where it's going to open like everyone else, but I want this initial, I guess, bias or mindset before seeing that open so that I can weigh the open against my opinion. Because right now it could go either way. We're right in the middle of kind of these two levels here. That big blue line at 25,514.50 and 24,150. With everything we're seeing, obviously, like I said, I want to see it go lower. But weighing the open on Sunday night against that opinion of lower, it's, hey, do we open way up here? and try to run this buy side first? Or do we gap lower and just tear off? Or does it just continue to consolidate? Is all very, very important things to weigh out. With us going to a premium already here at the very end of February, taking out buy side liquidity, which that line should be blue, it's buy side. So yeah, going into a premium market, taking buy side, rejecting, going lower, not using this SIBI or suspension block and using it appropriately to body staying in the lower half, wanting to move strongly away from that on Friday. I think we have a really good case to see lower, and I will use Sunday's open to weigh that out, and we will have a great trading day on Monday with the information that we receive. Like always, stay safe. These are very volatile markets. It is very much being manipulated and held here for a very, very long time. Obviously, very nimble. This is a massive price range for you to make money. But it can be very taxing, very high resistance. So obviously going into the trading week, very cautious. But we will see where we open up Sunday and how that fits into the narrative. Thank you so much for watching.